Good morning, viewers. In today's episode, we'll talk about both technology and spiders. You often ask in your comments about the cameras, lenses, macros, and other details I use. And the fact is, I've noticed a kind of stagnation on my channel for some time now. I mean, I'm not improving my shots. I'm basically recording the same thing all the time. And I'd like to make better and better content for you. That's why today I'll show you something I recently bought, something that blew my mind and gives me possibilities I didn't have before. A sip of coffee, and it's time to get to work. Here. I'm using a Sony a7 IV camera, which I'm currently testing because I'm about to release a video about moving soon. Here are the little creatures. Yes, finally everything is ready, and my beautiful dog-headed boa, which is probably sleeping, which is right in this container, will finally get a new fantastic home. And I really want this video to come out in the best possible quality. That's why I tested it today. And I'll show you a few shots here how it works, because the equipment is really amazing and you can do wonders with it. For example, you can now see the stabilized image from this Ronin. Here, you can really have fun and go wild. This Ronin will follow us, blah, blah, blah. It's awesome. And I think it's high time to take a step forward. Let's go. The problem I had in mind is that all the macro lenses I own, I think I have 3, just give a macro image, meaning an enlarged image of a part of a spider or an insect, and actually that's it. And for several years I had one lens on my mind, and I finally bought that lens, and it arrived today. To clarify, this isn't product placement. I bought it myself, not as a YouTuber. So today I received a box like this, which contains... This is probably one of the weirdest lenses I've ever seen. It even gives that ASMR unboxing vibe. And when we open it, what we see, listen, is a rifle barrel. Seriously, can you believe that? A cable for the lens. I'll explain its purpose shortly. And that's what it looks like. Wait a moment. This is the Laowa probe 24mm lens, and now take a look at how it looks on the camera. This lens arrived with a Sony E-mount. They come in various mounts, but since I have a Sony, it was the obvious choice. And now if we mount it, we get a setup like this. It's kind of absurd. However, there's a certain method to this absurdity, because this lens allows me to record things that I haven't been able to record until now. And aside from the fact that it's obvious you have to put it somewhere, no, I'm not gonna stick it up my ass. But you can stick it into any hole, whether it's a spider's or not. I'll show you what shots from this lens look like when you stick it into a spider's hole, and that's what I'll base it on. But this tube, up to about this height, listen, it's waterproof. And that means I can record underwater life. Which, by the way, brings me closer to finally filming the Polish underwater spider topic. Well, that's already a step forward, but that's nothing yet. At the very end of this barrel, there are small, odd white spots. Those are little lights. That's what the cable is for. Plug it in here and you don't need extra lighting. The lens has built-in lights, so you can see clearly even in the darkest cave. No need to drag it out. Let's try to test this equipment and see what it can do. But this is wild. Damn, just look at it. How would you even go to the forest with this? They'd probably call the police on you. Okay. This is relatively easy to record, and here I have a nice container with one of my females, Laowa metallica. This will be very simple because, as you can see, the tube is directly upwards here, so recording the spider from this angle will be a piece of cake, so to speak. But there's a bit of a problem here, because I need a power bank to power the flashlight, so let's plug in the power bank, and boom, we've got light. And now when I turn all of this on, that's about how it looks. Oh no, the spider just turned its butt toward me. And if I zoom in, I can even poke the spider so that it turns around. Exactly. Come on, show yourself to us. Thanks. Oh no, she came out. Alright, for example, we can now record something like this. Can you believe it? And this actually happens inside this tube. The experience with this lens is just incredible. Let's darken it a bit, okay? And now, just the focus. I couldn't record something like that with my lenses. Okay, obviously you need a bit of stabilization and some other stuff here, but for a first try, it's not bad. Let's keep going, because I still have 4 or maybe 5 spiders left to check out. Next up is a spider that lives in Southeast Asia and really likes to stay underground. And it's also blue. And now, once again, we're going to do that trick. Yeah, but it looks absolutely amazing. Oh, hey. Hi, Mr. Spider. Oh no, a burrow is here. All right, let's try again. So that's more or less what a spider looks like when it's sitting in its burrow. It's an amazing thing, really. Right now, I'm practically next to the spider. That wasn't anything super spectacular, so we're trying something else. If I have to record spiders that are underground, in the end, you know it's going to end up with a trapdoor. And we stick this into the burrow. And what do we have here? Of course, a Cyclocosmia genus spider. Actually, the depth of field here is very large. You can usually just go for this. You can play around with the depth of field. Awesome. Okay, now I think there will be something more interesting because I have one terrarium here that's really neglected. But it's actually perfect for something like this. Okay, and this is the terrarium where my female Vitalius chromatus lives. Let's freshen up this messy terrarium and try to move her into the nest. Hello? Hi. Oh, what big teeth. I don't think she likes me being here. That's how it seems. That's the impression I get. Now, there's another spider that could work for these recordings, and it's in this terrarium. Let's see what we can do. Here, on the other hand, is my female Brachypelma classy. Hey, hi. What's up? How's it going, buddy? Oh, this one is really bad. Wow. She attacked my lens. Oh, a second time. Well, you've got some claws, my friend. How close can I get to those claws? Oh, about this close. No, the image is pretty powerful. Yeah, I know. You don't like it, I know. We're leaving this house now. So as you can see for yourselves, this lens can really work wonders. Even though what I showed you wasn't really anything special. Those were simple, quick handheld shots without any stabilization or anything like that. So I still have one more test to do, and that's a field test. So let's head to the forest. And there we'll look for some kind of hole. We have a new beautiful day, and I went out looking for a place where I can stick this big pole. So here I am in the forest, and the funny thing is that with all this gear, I already have to take a travel bag with me, because it all doesn't fit in my backpack anymore. Here is the tripod, this big spear, and the macro camera. Alright, let's look for a nice spot. Okay, I think I've found the perfect place to test this out. Here's a fallen tree, which, by the way, is teeming with life. Some small Lycidae beetles are walking around, along with an ant. Let's see what this gadget can do here, and where we can get to, for example, over there to that hole. For now, I'll demonstrate what's happening here using a regular macro lens. Here is a beautiful beetle with red wing covers from the Lycidae family. And it's just walking around here. There are actually quite a few of them here because... Oh, here's another one. And a third one has even landed on my lens. And basically, it's kind of... This is the best I can do with this lens. This one even tried to reach the snail. This is a little snail. And will it fly away? No? Good example. Here, there's a hole with a spider web. And damn, to really record this nicely and to make anything visible, first I have to increase the International Organization for Standardization. But further in, you can't really tell what's there, right? Because even the focus won't catch it. Because there's no light there, and I also don't have any additional lighting. That's why now this gadget comes into play, and a lamp, which means I need a power bank. Let's change the lens quickly to keep dust out. We connect the lamp, and now you can use this stick to reach anywhere you want. And check this out, now we'll record the same spot I filmed earlier, but we can skip everything and put this lens in even deeper. What's here? Oh look, a piglet. And if I zoom in even more, we have a fancy little piglet that's hidden here. It's basically an endoscope, no kidding. Now let's check what the difference will be with this beetle with red elytra, because I'm also curious how it will turn out with this lens. Here the lamp isn't really necessary anymore, but we'll use it anyway. I'll move it back a bit. Wow. No, the image is vastly different. There's nothing more to add. Check out how they're chilling here. Wow, and actually this is good too. I even found some kind of millipede. I can't believe it, but this lens is wild. Check this out. It's an amazing thing. You can record this, even as a mosquito bites me. What happens if I unplug the lamp? How dark will it be? Okay, not bad. That's cool. I guess it's more natural, because otherwise you can tell it's under artificial light. I can also make it brighter or darker. And I can also change it a little depth of field. Okay, seriously, with this you could film professional nature documentaries, right? I'm really impressed with this lens. Ouch, a mosquito already bit me. Whoa. There's something happening here too, because flies are getting to the dead woodlouse. You could record that as well. They're just going at it. And that's basically how it looks, so it's absurd to me. I'm really impressed with this lens. The underwater test won't be done today because my camera's battery is dying and it's running out of power. So we'll do that when we're filming something about underwater creatures. But yeah, 100% recommendation. Laowa should pay me for this video. Anyway, we're changing the lens and heading home to edit. Take care, I hope you enjoyed it, and bye.